Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast show for the average Joe, the Wrestling Diaries. I'm your host, Mitchell Rulaine. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. For the video content, go to YouTube, the Wrestling Diaries. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. For more content, we release once a week. We find out from people in society what they struggle with, what they wrestle with, very importantly. And today is a really awesome show because I have my very second guest, who was the very second episode of the Wrestling Diaries, back again, Mr. Roger Brown.
What's up, man?
What's up, bro? It's been a while.
It's
been a long time, man. A lot has kind of went down and changed for both of us since the second episode of the Wrestling Diaries.
It's been what, a year?
Yeah, I think it was in June. So we're like right at a year. We're right at a year. So
it's crazy.
About that? That is crazy.
Crazy how it works out.
So you are a young, like up and coming entrepreneur. You are a machinist, and you do sales and stuff on the side. You're also into like stuff with what is it, like buying land or something like that?
Yeah. Trying to buy land, anything to try to get out of the rat race.
Right. And so you're still doing all that. But before we get back into that talk and rehashing our first episode together a year ago, you had a traumatic injury that just happened not too long ago. You said Memorial Day, right?
Yeah.
And you broke the high part of your femur bone. So tell everybody out there what you did, sir. How did you break one of the hardest bones in the body to break?
Falling off the porch. Actually, it happened the day before. We were supposed to go on vacation the next day to go shores.
This stopped the vacation,
yes,
didn't it?
It stopped
sucks, bro.
everything. Like, it's going to be baby girl's first time in the sand and everything. But we was out by the pool. Wife was in the pool.
In case anybody's wondering, baby girl is his daughter.
Yeah.
Just so, in case people are wondering.
Well, anyway, wife was in the pool. I had her on the porch, tossed her into the pool, and... You
tossed your wife?
Baby girl. I tossed my baby girl into the pool, and she made it fine with room to spare. And well, I lost my balance afterwards and fell off the porch, and I thought I caught myself with the rails of the pool, and really my feet hit first, and I fell down right after that. And then once I tried to stand back up, fell down again, and then on my back, my leg went from left to right.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like, call somebody. Get somebody here now.
What caused it to break exactly? Like,
I guess the force that I landed with, or how I landed. I really still don't know how exactly I landed. I just know my arms caught the upper part of the pool. And after that jar, I fell down, slid down it, and
jeez Louise. Now, which leg is it over here?
It's the left leg.
Left leg.
So, and I broke it like 3 to 4 inches from the hip.
The ball and socket joint?
Yeah.
Where it hooks into the pelvis?
Yeah, the pelvis.
Jeez Louise, man. I can't imagine that. And it was a clean break? They broke clean in half?
Yeah, it broke clean in half, but it was jagged.
Oh.
So they had to go in there. He said he had to go in there and like actually grind and buff on the bone.
The jagged edges.
And then the nurse the night before kind of moved me to get my bed clean for surgery the next day. And when she did, my upper femur bone slid inward. So the doctor had to pull on that for 45 minutes, he said, during surgery to get it lined back up. And then what they do, the video I was trying to show you, is basically they come into the top of the femur and drill and ream that out, then put the titanium rod in there, hammer it down, screws in the side. Got 2 screws in my hip, 1 screw in my knee.
Now, are they going to take that out after you heal it? So it'll always stay there forever. Okay.
But they do have it to where people can take them out afterwards in certain, I guess, situations.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's so crazy, dude. So how did the pain feel? Explain that. Is this one of the worst injuries you've ever had?
Oh yeah. It's probably the worst thing I've ever been through. Like the pain was like just gut wrenching, you know. And then luckily the guy that showed up, like the first responder, he knew exactly what was wrong with it and knew where I broke it. And he's like, I'm going to take your leg and pull it as hard as I can. And because I was laying on my right side, left leg was broke, and we're going to roll you to your back. Now, what his idea was, you know, pull it hard as he could, get it stretched out there. So when I do roll, maybe the bones will, you know, stay together. Yeah. You know, they won't break through the skin. So he rolled me through there, and then they put me in this leg brace that you just like, they strap it to you, strap something around your ankle, and then they ratchet it tight to make your leg stay straight and everything. So after that, they gave me a shot of fentanyl on the way to the hospital, and it wasn't until the fourth shot that they gave me that I started to ease up a little bit.
Did your leg swell up really bad, like a part of your thigh?
Yeah, but I don't remember that. You would have to ask the wife how bad it swelled up. Yeah, but it was pretty bad. I know after they did the X-rays, and my wife got there, that I was wanting the leg brace back because the leg brace was keeping it from not hurting as bad. And they actually was like, well, the doctor might want to see it. So I didn't get the leg brace for like 6 hours afterwards. But Dr. Morris is the one that did the surgery. Man, he's awesome. He went down there and got that leg brace from the emergency room, put it back on me. No complaints.
Wow. Matt, I'm sending you the pictures that he sent me of his leg. And see if you get those, and you can pull it up here in just a couple minutes so people that are watching the video on YouTube can actually see the extent of damage here and see the progress of how they put the like the titanium rod splint in there with the bolts and stuff. So let me know.
Yeah, I got a video.
Let me know if you got that. You can pull it up.
I got the video that shows you basically the surgery, and so it's like a 30-second clip.
It's your actual thing?
No, but it's basically how they do it.
Oh, I see. So what's the rehab on this now? What does this look like? When do you think you'll be back to normal-ish?
I'm hoping by August. Like you don't realize, like, you get into a dark place when something like this happens. Like,
sure, I can imagine.
I was like really in a dark place. Like, I'm not going to be able to carry my daughter again. I'm not going to be able to do anything that I did before. Play baseball with her, throw the ball, walk, work. I thought, thinking the worst, it's all over with. But, I eventually got out of that after a couple of days and started to be able to walk on it. But just the stiffness from it. And like the doctor said that the hip usually hurts the worst on most of the people that have this surgery. Mm-hmm. Well, it's been my knee and the muscles around my knee. Just
probably because of the pressure that the knee's being put under.
Yeah. But, you got two muscles on the inside and outside of your knee. You got two muscles on your thigh. And just getting them muscles stretched and being able to be stretched and building strength back up in them.
Yeah. Did they have to cut you open from like the hip to where they put the rod in, or did they go from the knee?
No, they went from the hip. Okay. The incision that they made is only like 3/4 of an inch. Okay. You can hardly even tell it's there. They did really good on that.
I bet they got you on some good painkillers right now, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had me on Percocets for a little bit, and I actually quit taking them. And then the physical therapy was like, you're going to need like to take some before you come, probably. Mm-hmm. So I called the doctor, and they were like, I was like, my physical therapist wanted me, to have some more painkillers to take before I come here. And the doctor was like, sure, man, here you go.
Wow. Is there that part of you that's like, oh man, I really wish I wouldn't have done this? Like, if I would have just stepped a different way or not came too close to the edge of the porch.
Or listened to my wife.
Oh, did she was telling you not to throw your daughter in the pool?
Don't do it. Don't do it. I guess she was scared that, something was going to happen to her.
I bet that freaked her out. Your wife, right? That you were jacked up like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember her looking over the edge of the pool and then seeing her eyes, and she had to go to the opposite side of the pool to get out to come over there to me, and just everybody just rushing.
Yeah, I had my injury wasn't near as bad as yours, but I was at a trampoline park and I was bouncing and somebody fell into me and I like came down like on my ankle and it like popped. I think it like dislocated, and then also it just tore a bunch of connective tissue all up. Like I still need surgery on it now. I don't have full mobility in my right ankle, but it was probably the worst kind of sprain that you can get. And it was the worst pain I've ever had. I've broken bones before, like not a femur bone, but I've broken like my hands and a toe and stuff like that, and fingers. And, I've been in fights, car accidents. I've gotten cut, stabbed, all kinds of things like that. And I remember thinking,
been stabbed?
Yeah, but it wasn't like, I wasn't like in a knife fight or anything. It was like an accident. I stabbed myself once by accident, and then I fell down on like a root and got stabbed in like the leg. But anyways, I've had a lot of injuries and a lot of pain from physical things like that, physical calamities. But this was the worst pain I've ever had in my entire life, was like spraining my ankle like that. Because it didn't just sprain it, like it destroyed my ankle essentially. Like I couldn't, just to sit or stand upright was excruciating, and my ankle swole so big. It was so big. I was literally bedridden for like over like 2 weeks. Like just to get up to take a piss was excruciating.
Oh yes.
And I wasn't even moving. Like I was on a crutch, so I didn't even have the leg down, but just the gravity, the blood hitting there. It was, and so like the only time I didn't feel pressure was when I was laying down with my leg propped up, and it was like that for over like a week and a half. And I remember thinking, man, I wonder I've never been shot with a gun before, but I was sitting there in my head thinking, I wonder what this injury would compare to in like a gunshot wound. Like if I got shot by like, I don't know, a pistol or 22 in the leg or the arm or something, like how much worse would that hurt worse than this ankle injury? Or would the ankle injury hurt or like worse? Or are they about equal? Because that's how bad it hurt. So I can't imagine yours had to hurt so much worse, like mind numbing.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you didn't black out.
I don't really do good with pain. I don't consider myself to be high pain tolerance. Mm-hmm. And
don't ever become a cage fighter then.
I mean, well, that kind of pain is a little bit different than like broken bones, I would say.
Well, you can get broken bones from doing it.
Yeah, but like I imagine like getting punched, you got the adrenaline going and everything.
Yeah, that's true.
And but you imagine how much adrenaline's going through this. Ugh. Like how the body knew something was going on, and then when I seen it, the body will take care of itself.
Yeah,
it's crazy how much the body will take care of itself. No, but another part when you was talking about toe, so my good leg, my big toe is broken, and that has so much, that one toe being broke, mm-hmm. how much of a problem it's caused.
Sure. With
the other leg being broke.
Jeez.
One of the therapists was like, you can't drag your leg, like your good leg, like you're dragging it when you walk. And I'm like, well, yeah, got a broken toe. I can't push off my toe.
Yeah. Now you're on, you've got a cane here right next to you. You also have a crutch. Now they didn't give you like an orthopedic, like leg boot, like a full leg boot?
No, they put the rod in and said, here you go.
Wow. And that's it. Were you in a wheelchair for a little bit?
No.
Oh, wow.
They took me out of the hospital with a wheelchair, and I left the next day after surgery, and I don't know. I think it would have been better if I would have stayed there a day. But they're like, there ain't nothing else we can do. You can go home. Well, I rode in the wheelchair all the way into the house to the couch. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until day 3 of being at the house that my wife was gone doing something at her mother's outside. And I was like, I gotta pee, or I'm gonna go and pee on myself, or I gotta get up and get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And that's when I started moving, because I decided I wasn't about to lay and piss.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So
that's terrible.
So I guess that was motivation to get up and get to the bathroom. And then
I guess so.
And then I actually laid down on the bed because I was thinking the couch would have been better than the bed. But first week, moving around, not having nothing to pull on and everything, it was really rough.
Yeah.
And then you don't got nobody. Like, this is a 1 in 10,000 injury. So there ain't like you got somebody that you can say, hey, how was your experience?
Right. Like somebody you can talk to in relation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably the worst part that I've had about it. Like, I've thought about that. Like, there needs to be more people that are like, hey, I've done this. This has happened. This is how you're going to go about this.
Gee, that's some tough stuff, man. Matt, were you able to get those pictures? All right. So he's going to pull up some pictures here so we can take a look at the extent of this injury, and then also people watching the video can see. If
you can see this is where they went in with
this one incision.
And it's almost healed. And they got another one that's up here, but the one they went into with the rod is only about yay big.
Okay. Right.
So I've seen a lot worse.
Here's this first picture. Show me what this is. That's not your wiener, is it?
No, that's where the doctor said basically the bone had settled when the nurse was rolling me over, getting prepared.
Yeah,
where he was having to pull that back to the other one to line it up.
It just makes my spine hurt just thinking about that.
That was just what I wrote to show you that.
To where it was.
Yeah.
That's where the bone was. And in the picture, it's where they pulled it to.
Yes.
So that like shaped object was where the top part of the broken femur had to be pulled over. Yeah, it's so close to the top part of the femur where it hooks into the pelvis joint.
See, that's right after I broke it. But between me breaking it and surgery, it had moved over there.
Yeah.
So once they buffed all this out and everything, then they're able to take and make a decision and drill all your bone marrow basically out and then hammer the rod down in there.
Oh my God, dude. Okay. And that's this next picture. This is where there's a screw at. Now, is this at the top of the femur?
No, this is at the bottom.
That's the bottom of the femur.
Where
close to the kneecap.
Yes.
Okay.
So and all this right in here, I guess where the muscles are at, that's where it hurts, man.
Jeez.
That's a side view on the inside of my leg.
That thing in the middle, that's a titanium rod that they put in through the top of the femur bone. And then right here,
there's the two screws that go into
that hold it in place.
So they basically drill right there.
Drill into that bone and then run it through the top. And then they put two screws in there to secure it in place.
So I got 3 screws total.
Gee. Do you think that like having like a metal rod in your femur bone is going to cause any issues in your life going forward? I don't know anything about this stuff.
I don't know. I think it'll
stay away from like thunderstorms or something. Like,
well, it's rained a lot, and I can't tell that. I don't know. Maybe just because
I think when that happens is after it's healed, and then as time goes on, like the pressure from the atmosphere change of the seasons changing is where the pain comes from. Because I have a lot of boxer's fractures.
Yeah,
like where I've broken my knuckles and my hand and my fingers from like boxing and punching and stuff. And when the seasons change, I can feel exactly where each fracture was. Because the pressure goes, because those cracks will always be there. They're just glued together by some kind of biological adhesive. But then like the atmosphere pressure kind of gets in there, and that's how you can feel them.
Well, it's like the cart. Like I was watching a video of how it heals. So I'm not going to be like 100% dead on, but basically, blood fills up in that area that the crack or the break's at, and it clots up, and then you got tissue basically, or cartilage or whatever that's a little bit stronger that bonds the two together, and then over time it gets hardened and hardened and hardened.
It calcifies, almost like bone, but it's technically not bone.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to cause me any problem in the future.
And did they say that you have a 100% recovery after you rehab and?
Well, they said they didn't really tell me that. It's just
you take up doing yoga after this.
It's basically, I guess it's basically to how your body's going to react to it, and then how much are you willing to go to make sure that you have the same before, because they're not going to do nothing for you. Like, they'll set you in the direction and make sure it's healed right. But as far as your therapy, you got to be like proactive.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be out there, getting out there.
How many times a week do you do PT?
3. I go to them 3 times a week.
Okay.
They started me on 2, and I was like,
"Do you do stuff at home? They give you some things to do at home, some bands."
I was already doing that. My wife already had everything pulled up on what I needed to do, so I was doing that. So once I started doing therapy like 3 times a week, I was still walking on that walker, and I hated that. It's like, I got to get rid of it. And eventually, I was like, this is my last day with the walker.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, I ain't going to use the walker no more. I started using the crutch. But also getting into the pool, like going back to the pool, it took like 2 or 3 people to get me in there that first day. But
nobody tried to throw you in?
No. But I'm pretty sure that they were like, we can do this so much easier if you just like let me throw you in.
Yeah.
But
you're like a big dude, big mongoloid muscle head.
Had to
toss you in the pool.
Had to climb up that ladder and then climb down that ladder with 1 foot. But once I got into the pool, I was able to walk on it for the first time unassisted, and then able to do stretches, like doing pool therapy. So I'll do their therapy and then usually come home, rest, put some ice on it, and then go back out and do pool therapy later on.
Okay.
Or do pool therapy first and then them in the afternoon.
Well, dang, man, my heart goes out to you, dude. This is a terrible injury, but it could have been worse. And I mean, you seem to be moving around pretty well. So, I mean, all things considered.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you're doing pretty well. You've got good spirits about it. Well, how's what about with work now? Like, so obviously you can't work. So how's that?
Well, they pretty much been supportive, take your time, get right, everything. So I'm just, trying to get right. That's the only thing that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about, man, I got to get back. Because I'm used to going, rock and roll, and just doing whatever I want to do. Yeah. And now you can't do what you want to do. So it's just, my mind's like dead set focused on getting to doing what I can do again. Yeah.
So now, off of the injury talk. So since you're when you were on episode 2 of the Wrestling Diaries a year ago, what have you done in your life since then? Like, what's new? I know you were starting to try to do a podcast there for a little bit.
Yeah, the podcast didn't work out too good. I've just really been selling on eBay, like baseball cards. Like, they came back in. We've done pretty good on selling baseball cards. I've actually made probably about $3,000.
Nice.
In, I don't know, about 6 to 8 months selling baseball cards.
Jeez. How much is that? Say that again.
$3,000.
$3,000 on selling baseball cards.
Just get into buying cards, and selling baseball cards, buying them off eBay, selling them back on eBay.
Also, on the last episode that you and me did, that first episode we did, you talked a lot about how you were in Robinhood, digital stock trading, and stuff like that. And it's so funny too, because another really good friend of mine had seen that episode or listened to it, and he didn't know anything about that, but he got into it. He downloaded a Robinhood app, and then he started looking into like day trading and different things like that. And he's not heavily into it, but he's doing pretty well, and he's making some decent chump change on the side. And it was all because he saw your episode. He's like, I never even thought about doing this. He was like, but this is great. And like, he's studying it, and he really got into it pretty deeply. Do you still do that? Are you still doing stock trading and buying stocks and selling and trading?
I don't day trade like I used to. Like, I would try to swing a big trade and make a lot of money. Now it's like, after the Pinterest loss, or I call loss, where I could have made like $100,000 and then screwed all that up, I've took a different approach. Like, I'm trying to buy stuff that gives me dividends that I hold forever. And I don't have to
explain to people listening what a dividend is.
It's just money that the company, whatever, gives you for investing your money. It gives you like quarterly, annually. It'll give like so much per share that you hold. So I've looked to companies that are like that would, give you a dividend and got a pretty good track record of that. And then there's also this, it's called Open Door Technologies. And it's a company that is where like selling houses, it takes 2 to 3 months to go through your selling and buying a house. Well, they've knocked it down to where you can buy and sell a house within like a week, and it's all digital, so you do it all online, and they're buying and selling. I really think that that's going to be something going forward.
Sure. What about the whole cryptocurrency thing, man? That's kind of what I'm into right now. I've actually made several $1,000s investing in crypto. Where do you stand on that one? Do you do that?
I've done
in Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything like that?
I've done it, but I don't understand it quite.
You got to study it, man.
And Dogecoin, like Dogecoin or whatever. Like, yeah, I've made a lot of people made a lot of money off that, but there's a lot of people too that's got shafted off that, and that was a fake company.
You have to know. I know it was a joke. It was a joke. It still is kind of a joke. Although Elon Musk is really picking it up right now.
Yeah.
But you just got to know what you're doing. You got to read and research on it. It's here's the thing, man. To say it's not here to stay would be a hell of an understatement, because it's definitely. Will it become the new currency of the world or whatever? I don't know. Maybe not.
The technology's here to stay, but I don't know if, like you said, it might not be the
blockchain technology is not going anywhere. Yeah. Digital currency is not going anywhere. El Salvador, I don't know if you saw this. They made Bitcoin their nation's currency, like their main currency.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, El Salvador. Did you know about that, Matt? El Salvador, the country, made Bitcoin their national currency.
No way, really?
Yep. Yeah, look it up. Look up the article on it.
That's crazy.
It's funny. Before that even came out, my friend Emma, who she was on the show. She's an opera singer. She's also into business and finance. She's all into like world events and stuff. And so anytime I need international news, I go to her. But she knew about that before it was even in major news outlets, because I had a phone call with her. And, we just talk. We're catching up, and we were talking about cryptocurrency. And she was like, "Oh yeah." She was like, people are like sleeping on Bitcoin. She was like, but I'm telling you, it's kind of like this generation, this new technological generation, the information age is gold and silver. She was like, El Salvador, as well as a couple other countries, are going to start trying to make Bitcoin, and some other ones their actual national currency. And she was like, they're doing that to help their economy out. And I was like, oh, really? And then fast forward a couple of weeks later, I'm seeing these news articles pop up on ABC and CNN and all this about El Salvador.
So imagine if you would have took that information that she gave you and knew about that, was able to invest accordingly a couple of weeks before that happened.
Yeah,
how much money you could have
I
made.
kicked myself for not investing in Bitcoin in like 2010 when it was like a couple dollars, because I could have like a ton of shares and millions of dollars right now. It's crazy to think about that, right?
In 2018 you could have bought Bitcoin for what, $6,000? I think it was $6,000 at one point. I mean,
yeah, your boy. Here's the thing, too. You followed Robert Kiyosaki and stuff. Your boy Robert Kiyosaki is all about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, man. And he talks about how it's going to keep going up. The price of Bitcoin is going to keep rising, and then all the other cryptos underneath it are going to go up.
I just think that Bitcoin itself, the banks are going to adopt the technology, and you're still going to have the same players that are in play, but they're going to be using the technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, I think like
a lot of banks have already started.
Yeah, like close to 50% of the world banks are integrating into some form of blockchain technology, crypto technology. Yeah.
So they got like baseball cards that are basically blockchain that you can buy. Mm-hmm. And I accidentally messed around and bought a couple of them. And never did get the files, but I just don't understand, like, okay, I got this baseball card of, let's say, Sandy Koufax, and I paid $10 for it. So now it's a file that I got that I can put up a picture of anywhere I want. Okay, but what's to stop me just putting that same picture up anywhere I want?
Yeah.
I just don't see how that's going to catch on like it with the baseball cards. Now, as far as anything else, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing: I'm an advocate for crypto and all that stuff, but also crypto is not necessarily a guarantee of wealth or money and stuff, and it might not. Like Bitcoin might not survive the times, maybe. like what it is, what cryptocurrency is not going anywhere, but like Bitcoin and other stuff. I mean, it might not stand the test of time and stuff like that. Is a possibility.
But like that picture that you buy, like a baseball card, it's just a digital picture. You can redo that 1,000 times. That's what I don't understand about it. But
well, I feel like there has to be like some kind of, just like with minting. Like if you have money to know that it's authentic, there's like a certain mint or a
it's got a certain
or something.
blockchain, you know.
Yeah.
Certain,
so for that, I feel like there has to be some kind of like algorithm or digital code that signifies its authenticity, and that's how people would know that it's not fake or phony. Yeah. Although, but here's the thing though. With that being said, initially, like when it first comes out, there's going to be a lot of foes out there, a lot of fakes that'll probably dupe people, and then as time goes on, they'll kind of be like, "Oh, this doesn't have that code."
What about AMC and GameStop? Like what they did with them, like the what is it, We Bets or whatever, where they everybody shortened GameStop, and they basically took it to like what 600 at one point.
Yeah. So, yeah, they have Reddit to thank for that.
Yeah,
Reddit really helped them out. Did you get into it? Did you get into some GameStop before it? I got into it a little bit,
but
a little too
or
late.
The AMC, but it was a little too late.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, I know that you can make money here, but I also know that a lot of people are going to lose money on this too. Yeah, so I was kind of scared.
This is why it pays to have like a tried and tested like a financial broker, or really a fiduciary, because they are bound by law, like a doctor and attorney, to be honest with you based on like markets and stuff like that. And if people are wondering what I'm talking about, it's like a financial advisor. But it's really good to have one of those, even though it does cost you money to have somebody like that. But they can help you to tell you when to get in when it's low, because they're insiders and they think something's going to explode. So you get in, buy it while it's cheap, it blows up, then you trade it or sell it, and then you make your money, and then you get out of it. And then it's the same way for cryptocurrency. There's insiders for that. You know, they tell you like, I mean, people make a living off of just doing this, just trading. Like I've researched multiple stories where people literally just making a full living. Like that's their job, is they're trading like crypto or just regular stocks. You know, they buy them low, sell them high, and then they trade back and forth, and they just have, that's how they make their money, and they do their taxes at the end of the year.
See, everything right now is, since 2016, and even now, like it's all, the market's been going up. Well, everybody makes money when the market's going up. Mm-hmm. You know, it was the time to buy when you should have bought was COVID, when it bottomed out. Everybody was doing that. That's when you come in and you buy, and you should have been just throwing all the money that you could at it, at everything, because everything's low. Everything dropped, and then sell. There's a lot of people that make money off the...
Yeah, that's where crypto's at. Crypto's hitting like a bear market type thing. But your boy Robert Kiyosaki said that this is the best time to buy it. He's like, don't look at it as like for people that are freaking out about it and they're getting out of it. He's like, you're dumb. He's like, you need to stick with it. He's like, if anything, buy more of it because it's on sale. He's like, I'm going to be buying more stock on it. He's like, because eventually it's going to be going back up again, and who knows how high it'll go.
Well, what is it at now?
The last time I checked, I think Bitcoin was at $34,000. I think it's trending up. Here, let me check. I'll check my account thing here and see what the last bid is on there.
So what do you think about the whole buying and selling houses like on the internet, like
I don't know
digitally?
I don't know enough information about it. What is it?
Like you basically skip out the realtor and all the...
Oh, you cut out the middleman.
And like the closing costs. The closing cost and everything.
Is this a new thing that's happening? I've heard some stuff about it, but I have not researched it. I haven't read anything about it.
They got a few different ones, like Zillow, or what is it? But the one that I'm in is Open Door. I got to get...
So you're doing that right now then?
Yeah, I got like 200-300 shares of it at like 16 something.
Mm-hmm.
It's fluctuating back. It was high, was 40, and now it's somewhere around 16, floating around there. It's been as low as like 12, and then jumped back up to like trying to get it out of the 20s.
Yeah. Oh, so to finish my point from earlier, because I didn't get a chance to finish. What I was trying to say was like, when it comes to like cryptocurrency and stuff, I mean, Bitcoin might not end up becoming what people believe it's going to become, right? But it could. And if it does, then I mean, people are like, the average man and woman could be very, very rich, very wealthy, and provide for the families and do all this other stuff. My point though is that whether it does or doesn't, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't like take out a second mortgage on your home to try to get.
Yeah, don't do
But
none of
what
that.
my point is you should at least look into it and maybe invest a little bit. If you got a little bit of money you can just kind of throw out there, I think it's a good investment. You put a little bit in there, and if nothing happens, well, if you're willing to gamble that money, whatever, you took a chance.
Maybe get an ETF.
If it
or
does
something.
blow through the roof, like a lot of insiders are saying, then whatever you invested in, man, you might have a nice chunk of gold towards the end of the rainbow there.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not.
But
letting me
see,
get
I-
on the Wi-Fi, man.
that's why-
So Bitcoin as of right now is at $32,761.97, and Ethereum right behind it at 1,800 and some change. Litecoin went down to 125.
Yeah,
but they're actually all on the
what
up
was
and up.
the
Right now.
other
That's
one?
low.
What was the second one you said?
Ethereum.
Yeah, that's where
the
I was
second.
buying the. That's what the cards were supposedly on.
In Ethereum. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but like even with open, I'm not going to sell it anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to sell. I'm trying to buy, hold on, and just
Let it appreciate.
yeah. That's really what I'm trying to do because I mean you can make money and you can lose
The
money.
digital house selling thing. I definitely want to look into this. It seems like an interesting concept.
Imagine like
Have you heard about it, Matt? This digital real estate.
it's basically taking the middleman, all the middlemen out.
Well, that's
So-
good. Anytime you can do that, that's a good thing.
Well, you also have people losing their jobs. You don't want that.
Oh, realtors losing their jobs?
Yeah.
Oh, they're cutthroat anyway. I'm kidding. If
But-
my real estate agent watches this.
But
I know what you mean, though. You're right.
and the reason I think it's going to be good is because like we are the last generation that actually came into technology, right? Like we had a little bit, but we didn't have cell phones that we can get on the internet with when we was growing up
Sure. Yeah.
and all that. Well, now the people that are buying houses, getting ready to buy houses, that's all they've known is the internet.
Yeah.
And it's going to go further and further and further. So since all they know is internet, I think they'll be more willing to buy a house online
Mm-hmm.
or sell their house online than actually in person.
Sure. Yeah.
That's why I think it's going to be good. But personally, would you be willing to buy a house without like just looking at it on the internet?
I know. There's like some risk value there, or risk to low reward, because like you could just see a picture that's just all painted up nicely, and then you actually get there and it's like a piece of shit falling in on itself. Oh my god, I can't believe I just spent $75,000 on this thing.
But they got to have things set for. I mean, they got to be able to back it. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's true. That's true. Oh, yeah. I mean, I can imagine it making some people nervous. But I mean, here's the thing: we're living in the information age, the digital age. Everything's going that way. So I mean, I feel like it's not like, oh, is this a thing that could be cool? I feel like it's kind of inevitable, right?
Learn
But it's
about
just-
it now or get left behind.
Right. Exactly. Keep up or you get left behind. Yeah.
And-
So last episode too, when you came on a year ago, episode number 2, you had a print shop business where you're doing graphics and stuff like that, because you brought me and Matt some T-shirts that you and your wife still doing that?
Yes.
Still have your print stuff?
It's not doing anything, but we do every once in a while get a job that we have to do.
Okay.
We'll get make band T-shirts or
Yeah.
do wedding invitations or decals, whatever.
Yeah.
Still got that going on, but it's not right now. The main thing's eBay and work.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
eBay took off. I didn't expect it to take off like it did, like
Yeah.
buying and selling cards.
Where do you get these cards at? Where do you get these baseball? I didn't get in on
eBay.
this, man. So you buy them on eBay and then
And
you
turn
resell them on eBay. We just came out of secrets, ladies and gents.
But
There's the
you gotta
secrets.
know like,
what's that called? Retail arbitrage, right? No, it's not retail, because you're buying it on eBay, so you're buying it like secondhand, third hand. What is that called, Matt? Retail arbitrage is where you go out and buy discounted retail and then you sell it for profit. What is that called that you're doing? It's something arbitrage. I don't know.
making money.
Yeah, you're making money. That's it.
But I mean, you just got to know like what the value of them are.
Mhm.
Like Ronald Acuna Jr. card is going for ridiculous. You can't even get the card for under $40.
So you've
Well, I do know a big thing that was on eBay is buying up items listed with the wrong spelt name and then resell it with the right name. You can, like misspell something like Cadillac. You don't know how many times people can misspell something like Cadillac. Like someone was buying and selling bikes.
yeah.
Just think of like any brand name, just misspell it. You buy that out because no one's looking for that.
Interesting.
eBay does not mess with, trying to correct you on misspellings. Not too much, but you can find some items with the wrong name.
Interesting. Have you encountered a lot of that?
No, but another thing that I've looked into with eBay, you can also like put like whatever you're looking for into the search engine, and then the auction's ending soon, because you can't believe, like, I'll put something up on auction, but I'm just a little video store that's on eBay, so I don't got a lot of people that's seeing whatever I got up listed. So something might go for 99 cents that's worth a couple $100.
Yeah.
And then they end up having to sell it, or maybe not that much, something that's going for like 99 cents it's probably worth like $20, $25 that you can get. That's all search engine.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty crazy. It's crazy that you made several $1,000s
in a few months.
Off of a few months. But then also, how much of that did you spend to buy those cards? Is my question.
No, I mean, yeah, I profited $3,000.
Oh, you profited a straight $3,000. So not like part of that didn't go to what? But how much did you spend
to start off?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we went to Jasper Pickers. It's basically like a thrift store, vintage stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up like 5 cards for like $5, and I put one of them was a Gary Payton card. Sold it for like $19.99.
Mm-hmm.
Paid like 50 cents for it.
Whoa.
Or whatever. And that was actually the first card I sold. And then I was like, well,
that's a hell of a net profit, bro.
And then I was like, well, let's do some Bo Jackson, because Auburn, Bo Jackson. And then I started looking on there and buying Bo Jackson, and then just knowing which cards, what grade, how they looked, and then going from there.
Baseball cards. It's cool that they're making a comeback. I wonder if comics will end up doing that. And then
pretty sure.
I know vintage action figures is a thing that's never went out of market. Like
Pokemon cards.
I was about to say
for
Pokemon cards. Probably a big deal. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is probably another one. Cards. Yeah.
But yeah, they made a big comeback. Like, there was a Mike Trout card that sold for, I think, like $5 million.
Jesus.
Not long ago. Then there's another card that sold for like $1 million.
I wish I could just find one of these at like a thrift store or flea market and know what it is. And the guy's selling it. He doesn't know what he has, and he's like selling it for like, oh no, here, or he just has a box of cards, and one of those is in there. He's like, oh, I'll sell you this whole box.
Well,
$4, and then sell it for $5 million.
Gary V is one of the ones that started, the whole card game coming back.
Oh yeah, because he was doing all the Gary Vaynerchuk. In case people are wondering what he's talking about. He was doing the yard sale stuff.
Yeah.
Where you go and find like vintage toys, cards, books, and then sell them again on eBay or whatever other like commerce.
Wherever
site.
you're going to sell it at.
And he was making some major league stuff. A lot of people started doing that because of Gary V. And
then that's, I think, what blew up the card game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which like one person said, it's always been there. People's always collected. My thing is, like, I actually asked the guy at Target one time, and he goes, the people that put out the cards in the stores, they have like followings, so like they got to swap up their days, because you got people that just like pretty much paparazzi, like following these card stalkers around, stalking them.
Wow.
I couldn't imagine trying to do my job and just put cards on a shelf and you got 20, 30 people following you around.
Yeah, that would be very uncomfortable.
Trying to, buy your cards up.
Wow. That's nutty, man. So what else you got going on, man? What other revenue stream you got going for you and the fam?
That's about
That's
it.
about it so far. You guys still living in the same place that you're at?
Yeah.
Thinking about like moving at any point and getting a bigger home, more land, or anything like that? In your future?
Yeah, I guess. Once baby girl gets up old enough for school, I want to have her in a good school district. So
yeah, you don't want to go to the school district you're in now?
No.
Oh, why not?
Just my old lady's, been in that school district. It's not as good.
Gotcha. How old's your daughter now?
She is, I want to say 18, 20 months.
Okay. She started walking yet?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
She's been walking. She's got a little attitude on her. She's mean, too.
Now she can grow up and tell all of her friends, yeah, I broke my dad's leg once.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, she's dangerous.
She's actually been pretty helpful to it. Like getting a walker or anything I need.
That's sweet.
She'll do what she can do. She'll try.
Well, so glad to have you back on the show again, man. You didn't bring us any presents this
Glad
time.
to be
Me and
back.
Matt are super upset about that. Like, I know Matt's wanted a T-shirt or some whiskey or some shit.
Hey, I want some whiskey.
We haven't gotten gifts in a while, actually, now that I think about this, Matt. People were bringing us all kinds of stuff. We don't get gifts anymore. They don't like us.
Y'all need to get gifts.
We should get gifts all the time. Cakes, pies, gold bars, you name it. All right, bro. So, what is, obviously, besides your unbelievably fantastic injury that you're dealing with, what are some of the other things that you're wrestling with currently in your life? I know the last time you were on, you talked about wrestling with, trying to build a good legacy for your family and leave something great behind for your daughter.
Yeah.
So,
still going with that. Still pushing forward with that. But, right now I just want to kind of do all this, you kind of learn that that's not as important as the right then and now, because it can all be taken away just like that.
In a blink of an eye.
In a blink of an eye. So actually having better relationships with them in the present. Because a lot of times we give up having relationships with people
because it's hard work
to try to make something.
Yeah.
To whatever it is. So you ain't actually having day-to-day communication, or you're on autopilot. You're not on autopilot, but when it comes to your family, you are on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to just enjoy the small time. It's been really good being off. Like, even though I don't want this to happen, I've actually got to spend a lot more time with the family.
And you should use your mind proactively, right? Like, what are the things that you can kind of like work on? It's like when Bruce Lee hurt his back from improper weightlifting or whatever. He was in the hospital, messed his spine up for a minute. He helped. That was when he wrote that book, The Tao of Jeet Kune Do, which is kind of like his the memoirs of his life and his philosophy on martial arts and humanity and all that stuff. But he wrote this really great book, and while he was on his downtime. So I feel like it's important that you find a medium to use this time proactively.
Yeah, trying to learn stuff. Just learn whatever you can learn. Read books.
Yeah, research.
Yeah,
I mean that's really good. Do you think that maybe 10 years ago or longer than that, did you see yourself where you are now? Are you at a place that you thought you would be? Are you further along? Are you exactly where you thought you would be, or are you not as far as you thought you'd be from looking at yourself?
10 years ago, I really wouldn't have. I don't know. Looking back, I guess I'm further along than what I thought I would be, because I don't know. I was just, whatever happened 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was a totally different person.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a new question that I've started asking people since the last time you were on. And it's, if we had like a telephone time machine, right, that we created, and you could pick it up and you could dial at any point in the past and you could talk to yourself, which time period would you pick, and what would you say to yourself? Like, and if in case you're wondering more, like a time that you feel like you would need a call from your future self maybe one of the darker times or time where you felt lost and you didn't know what you were going to do in your life?
I don't know. I figured I would do it like 12. Like
When you were 12 years old?
Right
Why?
there, because that's where you start making important decisions on who you're going to be and what you're going to be. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because you're, 5 years away from being an adult,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going through high school just to hunker down right there and have no freedom at all for the next 5 years, and then work real hard for 10 years, and heck, you could be retired by 28.
Yeah.
If you just take from 12 to 20 or 22, 12 to 22, and just nothing but, focused in on whatever you wanted to do it.
So what do you tell 12-year-old Roger exactly? What's this conversation sound
Stay
like?
in school. And,
Stay in school, Roger.
and-
Don't do drugs.
yeah, stay in school and stay focused on learning, education, getting what you need to get done. I mean,
That's good. I like that.
because you don't realize if you do that so much earlier and double up on it, you get to have so much more freedom
Mm-hmm.
in your later years because you doubled up on it
Yeah.
at an
it's
early
like a
age.
short time, very hard work for long time lazy. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do that,
Yeah. They just don't.
and they get stuck working in their later years
Mhm.
instead of enjoying
Yeah, they
their
get
later
trapped.
years.
Entrapment. You're getting trapped by society and all that stuff. Yeah, makes sense. In finality, this is another newer question I ask. It's funny because you're almost kind of an inspiration for this question that I asked. But I asked people about when one day when they're long gone from this place, what is like their actual legacy look like? What did they leave behind? What do people speak on them of? What books do people write? What is spoken at their funeral? What is remembered? What poems are written? And so for you, what does that look like, sir?
I don't know. I just hope it's inspiring and being helpful, inspiring people. This is actually when you told me I inspired a buddy of yours or that guy to go out and do that.
Mm-hmm.
All because of that video. That was pretty good. Just to inspire and to be helpful.
Nice.
I mean, you always want to inspiring people to do something that betters themselves. Is a joy from that is a lot better than most people think, or most people would be like, "Nah, it's whatever." But it's the simple things,
It really is, yeah. Inspiration is a very valuable gift, I think, to people. It gives people something they can really work with. It's almost like inspiration is in the equivalence of it's like teaching a man how to fish. You can give him a fish and he'll eat for a day, teach him how to fish, feed him for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Inspiration can be that. It might not always be that, but it can be that. And when it is that, man, the sky's the limit for people and the things that they can do. I mean, that's really great. I vicariously live through people like that, people that inspire. Even if I don't see anything from them, I never see them again. They don't give me money or they don't give me recognition. It doesn't matter. Just the fact that their life is going great and they're happy. When you think about that, because I vicariously lived through, I think about what I would feel like to be that person that was inspired to do great things. And I'm like, man, that's a great feeling.
or the person you inspired to go off and to do that, and now look what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you planted the seed for that because of something, just trying to help people.
Yeah. What's the biggest thing you're going to inspire your daughter to be or to do as a young woman growing up in this world?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, just that she can do anything that she wants, I guess. She don't need nobody. That she can do it on her own. I don't know, that's kind of hard because, the way society sees women and then the way society sees men, it's almost like they're trying to weave them together to where there's not a separation in between them.
Right.
And there's really things that men do really good. And there's things that women do really good. That's why it's good for us to be in union to help each other in our weaknesses.
That's a very amen to that. That's a really good point. I was listening to a message not too long ago about how divisiveness is what's really tearing everyone apart. There has to be a collective of people to come together, regardless of their outlooks on life, because it's a better future. Like if you can set aside your differences and find common ground on things, and you can move forward, and then worry about the debates of the way you believe and what party you affiliate with, and
try to find, instead of trying to go off on, what our differences is, like you said, find the common ground and then feed that instead of feed the other.
Yeah. That's a very good point, man. And on that note, I think we'll wrap it up right there, man. Thanks for coming on the show again, bro.
All right.
It was really cool, really relaxed. I hate that you had this injury, but hopefully you'll recuperate real soon. And be back out there. Don't throw your daughter in the pool anymore.
Yeah, no more throwing. No more running.
Do you have PTSD from that?
No.
Think about it.
No, I don't know if I would probably do it the same way if I did it again.
Just more careful, more mindful about it.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thing, man. Accidents happen. You can sit there and debate on what you did and if you do
or
it.
If I should have done. Yeah.
You walk out the door and like twist your ankle all to hell. Like, and you could be like, oh, everybody walks out of a door. Like, it just happened. Freak accidents happen. And sometimes they're way worse than others. Like, you could have done that scenario 1,000 times, and this would be the only time that you broke your leg. The other times you just fell off the porch, kind of hurt yourself, got dirty, maybe bruised your leg, busted your face, you got a bloody nose, or not at all.
Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. It's the way you handle it moving forward. Well, Roger, let me, you can look into that camera right there, man, and promote your social media, your business, or anything that you're doing. Tell people how they can buy your baseball cards.
Yeah, go check us out on eBay, Delaney's _ Dirt Road Outfitters on eBay. And you can check out the baseball cards, see one you like, offer us. We'll get back with you.
Nice. Roger, thank you so much, man, for coming and wanting to come back on the show. I appreciate it, man.
Anytime.
It's always nice getting to chat with you. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed today's episode with a return guest who is on episode number 2.
What episode is this?
This is episode, what is this, 58? 59. You're on episode 59, bro. You almost made it to 60. How about that? But yeah, he was on episode 2. You can check that out. I'll probably post a link to that one just in case anybody wants to see his freshman debut on the Wrestling Diaries. And this is his sophomore debut. He's got this injury, but he's recuperating pretty well, and he's got a lot of inspiration in his life. He's got a really great foundation to his wife and his daughter. Really helped mold him into being a great guy. And he's very ambitious, and he does a lot of cool things. Ambition is a really wonderful and addictive drug. You should get a taste of it, take a hit of it. It feels real good. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all the other platforms that host podcast stuff. You can check us out there. Leave us a review. That's very important. It helps us grow. Also, if you want to see the video content, also you can see these pictures of his ghastly, terrible injury that's on YouTube. And when you get there, like it, share it, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can check us out once a week. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Roger, thanks again for coming back, bro. We appreciate you. Hey, what do you wrestle with? And how can you beat it? One love.